Alright. Let's see. Just got this in the mail. No turning back now. Wait, what am I doing? What is that noise? That was it. Okay. That's yellow. I'm gonna do white. I think the world record for this is like a minute. don't know what to do. Oh, there we go. And boom. Okay. So now I think so many flies are in my house. Put that there. Put that there. Last one. Boom and boom. Okay. I didn't realize how long this will take me to solve. Boom. White center done. Boom. Oh. I thought you were on the phone with Valerie. What was that sound? That little beeping sound? That was whenever I had the stream, my stream, and the thing I stream on up at the same time. What? They're about to get in an argument. Boom, boom. Okay, put that there. Okay. Boom and boom. Okay. Oh shoot, that's one of them. I'm dumb. Boom.
What?
Yellow center, white center. I mixed
Now
it.
solve it.
No, I've still got to do the blue and all the other ones. Boom. Would you stop? I'm over here trying to stream me. I'm trying to solve this. Can you go away, please? And I'm streaming it, and you're totally ruining it.
You want me to go in a different room?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what I meant. Okay, that really. I realize that's a different room.
It is.
Okay, outside of this main room, there is no door separating these rooms. So,
Like what floors do you mean? Like not the dining room and not the kitchen.
your bedroom.
I can't reach the room.
What does that have to do with anything?
I can't go in there because we never got our phone service together.
Well, at least don't do that in here. Go somewhere else. Go upstairs.
You're asleep.
Go in Mom's sewing room.
You're not having me.
Every single excuse just so you can annoy me. That's what you're doing. I've been solving this for 15 minutes now. Okay. Okay, you know what, never mind. I know not to do the green, but I don't know if I want to do red or orange. But yellow, blue, and white. Centers solved. Man, what a challenge these edges are gonna be. Alright. I'll do red. Oh, those are outsides. Dummy. Okay, that's an inside one. Okay. Oh, wait, I just did 2 on accident. What? That's cool. Oh, shoot. Okay, there we go. Put that there. Oh. Don't worry, I'm just streaming. Don't worry, I'm just streaming, trying to mind my own business, and y'all are coming in here acting like 2-year-olds. As usual.
I'm not scared that you
Bro! No!
No. I want you to stick some fingers in it. Paper. Stop. Stop doing the slime, bro. I'll go wash it. Pick it up. You pick it up. You pick it up. You pick it up.
Would somebody just do something so that y'all can hurry up and leave?
Ow!
Oh, wrong way.
Can't hog all food. Grace, I want something. What do you want? I'll get it my own self. No, you're not getting a Nutella. I'm not getting Nutella. What do you mean? I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to this shirt. Not funny. Wow. I'm so happy.
Would y'all stop, please?
Ask Brooke. She's the annoying one here. I'm not the annoying one.
Yes, you are.
I'm not the other one. Christian, you have a room.
And so do y'all.
I'm looking for something to eat. Oh, yeah. Oh. Grace! Stop! Grace!
Grace.
Stop! Stop!
Stop! For real!
Stop!
Grace. Grace and Brooke. What'd y'all do with my 7x7 holder?
We don't have your 7x7
No, the thing that holds this.
Yeah, you never shot one.
Yeah, I did.
I never touched
The package it literally came in.
it. Look in the trash.
I know it's not. Would y'all stop?
She won't let
Grace,
me.
just let her get some. It's not that hard.
You have a rubber. You don't have drag you out of it. No. I was spinning out. You can only throw half this dog over. again. Not again. Not again. Not again. Here's. Ow! Ow! Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You want nacho cheese? Ew, what was that? Oh, now you have to pick that up. I don't know where it went. Right there. I don't see it. Get it. I don't see it. I swear I don't see it. Yes, you do. I didn't know it was there. Put the honey back, boy. Sir! You're really sir! Stop it, sir. Stop because it's not sir. Sir? Yes, you are, sir. You're sir. Grace, you're sir. Why did they name you three times your boy?
Just get something to eat and leave.
I can't. Ow.
Grace.
Ow. Can't. Ow. Ow. Why did I do this? Please, ma'am, can I get out of here? Ma'am. Ma'am, please move. I need to get my syrup. Ma'am, I need to get my syrup. I will get your syrup. Ma'am, I need to get my syrup. Ma'am, I need to get my syrup. I can literally just pick up right now and give you. I don't need syrup, ma'am. Go away. Amen to yourself. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. What are you trying to get to eat? What are you trying to eat?
She was trying to get her syrup.
Why do you need syrup?
To eat in my belly. Okay, then get on that.
Get some.
No, get the refrigerator too. Yeah, my shirt. Kirsten, she took my shirt. Give me my shirt back. Give me my shirt back. There. No, you said you weren't. Stop! You said you weren't gonna get out. Stop! Yeah! You're gonna wear that shirt. I'm gonna get the smaller gun. I don't want the smaller gun. Give me the shirt. Christian.
What?
She's gonna wear my shirt.
Who cares right now?
She said she wasn't gonna get the Nutella because she's gonna eat it all.
No, I'm not gonna eat it all. Come eat some with me.
No.
Go to your room.
Oh, hi, live. I'm eating Nutella.
Cool. Great. Leave.
Christian, she's so annoying as a chick.
You are too.
Bro, shut up.
Notice I said two, which means you and you are annoying.
Hey, girl, I found some honey mustard.
Honey mustard.
Yes, I did.
Grace.
I guess I'm eating chip and dip alone. Oh!
Chip and dip is good.
Are you saying that on this channel?
Eating Nutella.
Would you stop? Now, Valerie's on the stream.
Hey, Valerie!
She said tell them to be quiet.
Okay.
So,
Valerie, that's just rude.
no, you're the one who's getting on my
Be
nerves.
quiet. Both of y'all, be quiet. You and Valerie, be quiet.
How about y'all two be quiet first?
Shut.
Valerie, do you like Nutella? What'd she say?
She ain't said nothing. You can't ask somebody something like there's a 5-second delay, and then you can't.
I'm not saying Nutella.
No,
This isn't your Nutella cushion.
Yeah.
no, I'm not saying no. Don't get Nutella. I'm saying
So what you doing on your live stream today?
I'm trying to solve my 7x7. But if y'all won't leave me alone,
We'll sit right here and watch it.
no, y'all will go to y'all's rooms.
Valerie isn't watching anymore.
She probably is.
No, she's not.
She's going from she's on her phone. She has to go from stream to text. Okay.
Why does it say I just went and punched him?
Because y'all need to be quiet. Oh, she just said I'm still watching.
Why'd you go up there? Hey, Valerie, do you like Nutella? I just asked that. This is his 7x7, guys. It's totally cool. Guys, go to Brooklyn Race's slime DIY. No, don't. Please don't. Yes. I think he's hitting himself with the Rubik's Cube. Because he's mad.
She said yes.
She does like Nutella?
No, she likes the universe.
Oh, she does.
Yes, she likes Nutella. You really have to ask that.
Yeah.
Hold on, where's the stream title? Where is it? Oh, hi.
Right there.
Would y'all stop?
I didn't do that.
Yes, you are. How about this?
Just get to the Rubik's Cube.
I need to find my instructions. But somebody messed with my 7x7 thing. I don't know where it is.
I did. It's probably in the trash. Because remember, Mom and Dad were cleaning this morning. It just came in.
It just came in today.
Well, your mom just got finished cleaning. Oh, look at the trash. I'm not weird, promise.
Yes, you are. Grace, she said y'all let him solve the Rubik's Cube.
You don't have the instructions to.
That's what I was looking for till y'all came in here screaming. Ah! Probably waking my dad up.
Valerie, she kind of can't solve it because we lost the little
How do you
container it was in, and the instructions were in there. So it's not our fault, promise. Like this does not mean this means like I don't know, but we did not
use this for now.
We didn't lose it. I promise. Okay, let him solve it now.
No. Oh, ow. Ow.
That's the 4x4 though.
Yeah, sure is. I'm just using a different number.
Yay! Oh, Valerie believes me now. I said we didn't lose it. The instructions were in the box, and we lost the box. And
Y'all did.
He said, "Oh." She said, "Oh, okay." Because I said, "I promise." I didn't even touch the box.
That's the 4x4. Do y'all understand I'm trying to use it into mine?
Yeah, Brooke.
Alright.
Oh, I've never touched it. I thought you just lived.
Wait.
Oh.
I put the instructions inside.
Why are you waving at that? Because I'm waving and I'm gonna wave. That's enough waving. I'm so bored. Valerie, give me an idea of what to do. I'm bored.
Go on, Brooke, and go just sign down.
Don't, please don't. Ow! What do I do when I'm bored? Okay, just tell me something. I don't know.
Did that just happen?
Say something. Christian.
I'm
bored! Christian, what do I do when I'm bored? Go away. No, that's gonna make me even more bored.
I don't know. Alright, move.
I feel like we're just Jameson.
Stop.
Oh, I need to go find my water. He's just doing something.
Stop. I do not know.
Because I asked her give me a reason of what to do when I'm bored.
Oh.
Tell her I said thanks. Valerie, I said thanks.
Don't say it so loud.
Sorry.
Really holding me back is finishing the last two sinners. Searched around and I couldn't find any tutorials that really explained what they were doing. Most seemed to resemble walkthrough solves more than anything else. Could somebody point me to a tutorial that would help me figure out this step?
I would really appreciate it. Thanks.
You want to build the very outside bar for last, and then you'll probably learn a commutator. Check out the Crazy Bad Cubers tutorial for
I was just gonna say.
it's just his name.
These stupid flies.
Because this is an odd layered puzzle, we have a middle piece, so I know this is the green side, and that's the red side. The first step is to decide which one I want to do. So I can see this green only needs one piece to go in. whereas this red needs 2. So I'm going to go with green. So I need a middle piece here. So if I turn this around, I'm going to bring it down, which will this we get here.
Oh, she said you're welcome.
Yes.
Well, we're going to use a technique that we used in the 9x9. And what we're going to do is we're going to hide these 2 layers. As long as you're hiding layers that are the same, like 1, 2, 3 in and 1, 2, 3,
Huh?
it's fine. You can also hide like this layer and this layer together. So we're going to hide
Did
this
you put your line?
layer.
No. No.
Oh.
Hi, Nazir. Yeah, this. And these 2 won't go away.
I'm away.
By away, I mean out of the room. Because you are not using my stream for hairstyling.
I just need a mirror.
Go to the bathroom.
I'm already.
I'm done. I'm sorry, Nazir. Now watch. The second I end
Okay,
the
I'm
stream.
going away. Bye-bye. Bye.
I'm getting something.
Peace.
Bye. It only took you 10 years.
In 10 years, I'll be 20.
Okay. Hi, Nazir.
So we're going to hide this piece, and we're going to hide this layer too. So what we're going to do is bring down this one and bring down this one. So we've now hid those 2, and we're going to exchange these. And now we're going to put them back, which builds the one. And now
Okay, what?
this one, so we've now hid those 2. Hide this layer, so we're going to hide this piece, and we're going to hide this layer too. So what we're going to do is bring down this one and bring down this one, so we've now hid those 2.
So why are you hiding those 2?
So what we're going to do is bring bottom one here. So I need this piece, which
Okay, I've already passed that.
is a little bit difficult. Usually, you can start building from one side and work your way all the way over using these 2 because they're on the side of the middle. So you have access to all of these pieces. But I can see that the piece that belongs here is right here or right there because this one goes here and that one is there. I can't do it though. So what I'm going to have to do is when this happens, I put them like this and I hide this one using both layers. I move this over. I'm going to temporarily break this up, but I'm putting that right where it needs to be because this is in the bottom left. Now I've got these two that I can match up. So this one needs to go here. So match it up. As you can see, it's in there. And we've got this already put in there with one move. And now I'm just going to directly put this back in because it's already done. Now let's see what we got. Okay. So the first thing I like to do on the last one, on an odd layered one, is to match one up with the middle. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this and match this one up.
That's where I am.
The middle. I want to match this one up. So I'm going to actually bring this and hide this one down in here. So I can move this over, and now I can match this up. Match it up, go like this, turn it down. Now, this is...
Me and this guy have the same Rubik's Cube. How about that?
Due to the fact that when solving 7x7 centers, you're actually solving a 5x5 grid of pieces that contains numerous possible cases. Even top speed cubers don't want an algorithm for every single case. However, there are many cases that are easy to recognize when you get to building your last bar, which are helpful to know and will help you a lot in speeding up your last two centers when they show up. So in this video, I will be showing you a bunch of commutators and last two centers algorithms that I find really useful and are able to speed up your last two centers a lot. So before I start showing you guys some of the different commutators that I think are really useful,
Never mind, we don't
I'm
have
just
the
going
same
to quickly
Rubik's
go
Cube.
through a last two center
Might be
example
a little
solve,
bit different.
just to kind of show you what level you should be at before you start learning these. So something that you should be already really confident doing is building two bars at once. So here we have a very easy case to do that on the yellow center on the front face right here. We can just go like this. And just like that, we have these first two bars done over here. And then after that, we can simply build the middle one just like this. And then we can move on to the last bar, the second to last bar actually. And then this is where you would get to when you'd want to use a commutator. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you different cases that you can easily solve with a commutator when you might have a bad kind of looking case like this right here, where it would...
I was just blown away. I was just blown away. What? This guy goes, and boom, the entire thing stopped. I'm like, what? Not the entire thing, but the last two late. What? He's like, okay. Huh. Okay, alright, let me keep watching.
Would take a lot of moves to solve it intuitively. So let's get started. One more thing you guys should just all know before you move on to the commutators that I'm going to show you in this video is you should already know the basic ones. So that would be like this one right here, where you just need to swap this piece and this piece to solve the last two centers, which obviously can be done like this. And then you should also
He says
know
obviously.
the other
I'm
ones
like,
to
what do you
swap
mean?
this bottom kind of like wing piece with the one corresponding to these two right here, and then also the ones at the top, which is this piece and this piece right here. So those are just some basic ones that you guys should already know, and you can find those very easily in 7x7 tutorials, and they're very common. So the first case is this one right here, where you just need to swap these four pieces. So this kind of like 2x1 bar with this 2x1 bar, and the way that you're going to solve it is just like this. Similarly to that last case, you can also have this one where you have to swap 6. You need to swap 2x1 bars attached to the upper corner instead of the lower one. All right, and the way that you can...
No movers. I don't. I really don't. I don't. I could be smart with the 3x3, but this? Let me go get my 3x3. So like, watch. I mean, I can just. I mean, I do knowledge, but I mean, like, I don't knowledge. Like, look. Holy crap. Stupid. That was it. Ooh, I mean, this is awesome. Oh, shoot. Last two centers on big cubes. Boom. This is what
Hey guys, what's up? It's Jared Cuber. In this video, I'll be showing you the easiest way to solve last two centers on big cubes.
I'll be back. No.
So for a lot of people, last two centers on like the 6x6 and up is pretty tricky and sort of takes a long time. So hopefully this tutorial will make last two centers pretty easy and fast. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and start out with
Really?
and once you know these two, then you're basically set for any last two centers case that you encounter on any cube, basically. So before we get started, there's one fundamental commutator that we need to learn. And for those of you that don't know, a commutator is just where you do one algorithm or one move, and then you do another algorithm or another move, and then you undo your first algorithm and undo your second algorithm. And that's the basic idea of a commutator. So here is an example of the commutator we're going to be using. It's going to be used to switch around pieces in the centers. And just as an example, here's what it looks like. And as you can see, we've switched these two pieces and done absolutely nothing else to the rest of the cube. So here's how the commutator works. Let's say we want to switch these two pieces. The first thing we do is line them up in conjunction to each other so that we can replace this piece with this piece, just like that. Now, once we've replaced this piece with the other, we can then do a U and bring it over to another layer. Then what we can do is bring that layer up, and what that does is that restores this row. Now what we can do is do a U prime, bring this layer back into its correct place, and then we undo, just like that, and then we do a U and undo this. And there we go. Now this can be done with edges as well. So if we want to replace this edge with this edge, then we can take this edge and put it up here where it needs to go. And we can rotate it to another layer. Bring that layer where it needs to go. And we can rotate it to another.
Can you give me the challenge to solve this by one day, okay?
One day.
Yes. Might not be.
Let me see it.
How about maybe at least 3 or below?
You got a week to memorize it.
Okay.
Memorize.
Another layer. Bring that layer up. Rotate back. Bring the first layer back down. Rotate that layer back down. And then do a U. And now we've switched these two pieces basically.
So many flies are in my house.
So now that we know this commutator, then last two centers will become a lot easier. So let's go ahead and get started with the 7x7. So here on the 7x7, we have all of the rest of the centers done, and we're on the last two. Now the fundamental idea of building last two centers is if you're on an odd layer cube, then you build the center row first, and then you do this, and then you start by building out to one half of the cube, it doesn't matter which side, and then you go to the other half of the cube like that. So basically, for me, what I'm going to be doing is starting with this layer, and then doing this half of the cube first, and this half of the cube second. So we'll do this row first, then this row, this row, and then this row and this row. So the first thing is to get the center row. This is pretty easy.
I've already gotten
As
that.
you can see, we already have 3 pieces in their place. Now we need to find the 2 pieces that go here. And since this piece is an edge center on this middle 3x3 row, if we look on top, we can find one right here. And so if we turn it here, you can see we can put it in place, move the layer away, and restore that. Now we just need one more, and that would be right here, ignoring all the rest of the pieces around it, just this piece. Bring it down, move it out of the way, and restore. So now that this is done, this is our foundation for building the other 2 sides. We'll start by now getting this layer here. We can see that for this layer, we already have a row of 3, and we just now need to get in these 2 pieces. So I can see that this piece here needs to come here. You can see how this piece can come up to here. Now, when we are building last 2 centers, we want to be able to take advantage of this empty space that we have. So what we can do is if we rotate this layer up to be able to use these 2 layers to put in this piece, you can see that there's nothing here. But this piece can easily be moved to here just by rotating the piece up, turning it up to that spot, and bringing it back down. And now we can turn the layer and bring it in like that. Now we just need to find this piece. Here. And you can see that there is one right here. So we can just bring this layer over and take this center and bring it up. Now that this row is done, you can bring it down, move it out of the way, and restore. Put it back. So now we just have to do this last row here. And as you can see, we already have a row here with that this piece here needs to come here. You can see how this piece can come up to here. Now, when we are building last two centers, we want to be able to take advantage of this empty space that we have. So what we can do is, if we rotate this layer up to be able to use these two layers to put in this piece, you can see that there's nothing here. But this piece can easily be moved to here just by rotating the piece up, turning it up to that spot.
Bro, do you know how annoying this is? I have been streaming for almost an hour. 2 minutes away from an hour. And I haven't even gotten the last two centers. I've still got to do the edge and solve it like a 3x3. I love Rubik's Cubes, but I hate them. Alright. Oh, what does this mean? Oh. Do I know what to do? No. Do I want to know what to do? Yes. No, not like two edges. That is nothing. That really does do nothing. I wish there was somebody out there smarter than me that knew how to do this. Check it out. That would actually explain it well.
I watched like 10 videos and I can't stop it.
I know which video to show you.
The man, Christian, can I show you something?
There's no man. What?
So I made this game fine. And then you don't have to read that. I still have to to go back. Please. Oh no, I did it. And then I have a little video for them to watch.
Is that your video?
No. It's youtube.com.
No.
And then, it wasn't. No, I saw it. And hope you like go to the next surprise awaits for you. I made it go bump, bump, bump. You like it? You hate it.
Hmm.
Okay, so I just made a Google slide. Okay. Yes!
Leave.
And if you want to watch the video, Christian, you can. Because the videos are really good.
Not many people know how to solve the 7x7. I can tell you that much. No, I don't want to.
Number one, hardware. So for big cubes, you should typically buy a good cube, which is not necessarily true for 3x3. So for 3x3, as long as I have magnets, even cubes like the Little Magic are really, really good, even though their base cube is just $5. So when the Haze 7 came out, a lot of people were getting their PBs on this because it's just so easy to turn. And for my unboxing video, I actually was able to turn it just fine out of the box, even though I don't do 7x7 at all, which was not true for 5x5 or 6x6. I had a lot of trouble turning these when I first got them. Now, one important thing for even if you get a good cube is for 6x6 and up, do not corner cut, because then this happens. So if you're wondering which cubes I use, the links are in the description. Number 2, color neutral centers. For big cubes, unless you're using the Yao method, you have to be able to start on any center, because if you force yourself to pick white or yellow, sometimes it can be really bad. So once you finish 3 centers, then the next center is important. And so if you've done 4x4, then you should be able to know how the color scheme works. And so here, for example, if I have blue followed by red, then I know that white must be underneath that. But even if you get the color scheme wrong, white, blue, red, blue, then you can just do this, and then U2, D2, that, and then the color scheme has been fixed, and all of the edges are preserved. So even if you notice during 3x3 stage, you can still fix it. Number 3, the best way to build centers. For any big cube, in one way or another, you want to be making bars. But there's a little bit of freedom in how you can make these bars, so I'll be showing it for each of these cubes. In general, one way you can't go wrong on any size cube is by making the middlemost bar, followed by making bars on the outside, like that, and then followed by another one. But on 5x5, besides that, there are 2 other ways you generally want to make your first 2 bars or first 3x3. For 6x6, again, you can't go wrong by just making inner bars followed by making outer bars. So if you make both inner bars, that would be great, and then follow it up by outer bars. So you generally want to use bars, but depending on the case, you could get something better than that. So for example, if you can make a big rectangle here, then you probably just want to finish off that rectangle to make 2 bars. You pretty much only want to do this if you kind of see that part of it is done. So in this case, you need a corner center and another edge center, and it's kind of difficult to see which kind of edge center you need, like would this one fit or would this one fit? So if there was a corner over here diagonally away from the rectangle like this, then you'll be able to finish this off in 3 moves. And so how that works is I'm going to hold this slot like vertically and look for an edge that this corner can pair with, like that. 1, 2, 3. This technique usually works best during your first center because you can use inspection time to help you find these pieces. Now for 7x7, if you see something like this, you technically could also try and make multiple bars at once, but it's just a little bit more complex than 6x6 because there's so many more pieces. So typically on 7x7, if you just do bars, that would be fine. One thing a lot of beginners on 7x7 don't realize is that technically the outer ones could be solved first and you can still solve the inner one. Like you don't have to solve the inner bar first. And so all you have to do is make the inner bar without the center. So like this, and then hold it so that when you move these up, it'll replace every other piece you've already solved. And then just move it back down like that. Another thing that beginners often don't realize is when you have a bar and you need to finish it off, and this actually applies for any size cube and it doesn't have to be a corner piece, then if you want to get this one up here, you don't have to do F and then directly insert it up here, followed by like removing it. In this case, if you're holding it like this, often it's just faster to take the location and bring it down, replace it with that corner, and then go back up. So again, we have the better way, which is like this, versus regripping, doing F, and then doing that. Another example, if I'm trying to finish this bar and the piece is right here, then I can move this slice up first, like that, bring the piece over, and then move this back down. Number 4, last 2 centers on big cubes. On last 2 centers, you normally want to go from left to right all the way until you have one more bar that needs to be solved. And then this is where 5x5 versus bigger cubes are different. On 5x5, you can always just use R and U moves in order to solve the last 3 pieces. So for example, for this case, you can do R, U2, R prime, and then that sets up this, where I can just insert it all like that. So again, a full list of all of these is going to be in the 5x5 tips video, which is in the description. So on 6x6, we have yellow goes here on the front. These are the last 2 centers. And I'm going to build from left to right in general. Like I don't have to do this bar followed by this bar exactly, but in general, I want to make sure the left side is all done before I move on to the right side, or it'll be very hard to complete the left side. So here for the left side, I think the best thing I can do is solve this bar first. So I'm going to solve it like that. And then I could keep it on this side first. I'm going to solve an outer bar now. So I have this, and this. So I can do that to make it on top. Then I can insert it into here and get it all onto the left side. All right, now I want to make this bar. So I have this piece and this and this and this, and I can do this and then insert it. All right, now when you get to the last bar, you want to solve it like a 5x5, but you can only do that for 3 pieces. So on a 5x5, a bar consists of a corner, edge, corner. So here I'm going to try my best to solve a corner, edge, and corner, which isn't the full bar, but it's everything but one piece. So this, and this can be solved like that. So if you know how to do it on a 5x5, then you should always be able to figure out how to solve 3 of these pieces.
Oh, wait, that's a
If you're
6x6.
lucky, you'll get all 4, but here we need to insert that last one with a commutator. You should know how to do this if you can solve big cubes, is by moving this piece down to here, and then moving it into a different layer, like this layer, and then moving it down again. Then then move this all back into the original layer, go back up, move it back into the new layer, and go back up. So here I am on 7 by 7 last two centers. White goes on the front, and if I can, I'll typically try to make the middle bar first. So here I'm not going to do it that way, just like for educational purposes, what you can do if you have the middle bar later. So I'm going to make one outer bar
Did he just do that? He just did that.
here. So when you make the second,
Yeah. Okay. Sir.